We're live, folks. This is Jonathan Jowen from the Party Source YouTube channel. This is We Talk Whiskey Wednesday. And right now, we are live. Just starting. I'm hoping to have a couple of other friends jump in and join in on this chat. So, with this being me by myself, as of right now, what I want to start out with is I'm just going to, instead of talking some whiskey, I'm going to talk whiskey while making some cocktails. I'm going to start out a very simple one. I'm going to start with the 1792 right here. But we are going to be making one of my favorite cocktails of all time. I am a sucker for anything that is a bourbon cocktail or anything with vermouth or a level of Campari style. And how's it going, Jim Highline? I hope everything is going good with you. Thanks for dropping in. So, the cocktail is a Boulevardier, which is a twist on a classic called a Negroni. A Negroni is a gin-based cocktail. It starts out with 1.5 gin, and then a 3/4 and a 3/4 of Campari and vermouth. We're going to start with our mixer here. Got some ice sitting in there. It hasn't had a chance to melt, so for people who are purists like that, you don't really have to worry about it. So we are going to start with the bourbon. I'm going to use 1792 because I love the 1792 flavors. And hang on, let's make this so you guys can see it. Sorry about the angle here. So this is coming in at, let's see, what is this? A full 1 ounce. So I'm going to pull a 3/4 ounce here. I'm going to put 2 of those in, put in 1.5 ounces. This is a very high rye bourbon, which actually counters with the sweetness that is going to be incorporated into it. We are now going to use a little bit of vermouth. The vermouth that I'm using for is Antica, one of my personal favorites. And for those of you just tuning in right now, I am flying solo, but I hope to be joined in by a couple of other YouTubers later. So if you wish to ask any questions right now, I'm just killing time by making a cocktail, which is one of my favorites. It is the Boulevardier. Now, for every amount that you put in, you need to put a 1/2 amount of this. Since we did 1.5 ounces, I'm going to do a 3/4 ounce pour here. Vermouth is a fortified wine with all kinds of different seasonings in there. Everybody's recipe happens to go through. This is the Carpano Antica, which happens to be one of my personal favorites. Absolutely love this bottle. It is delightfully delicious, can be drunk by itself. For anybody who ever got burned on anything from vermouth, this is one that can really and truly set you straight. Now we are going to tweak it just a hair. We are going to add, instead of Campari, I am adding Cappelletti. Cappelletti and Campari are of the same tree, just different branches. Campari is very, very sweet and orange heavy. This one is more bitter, more earthen, but yet still has a sweetness, not as heavy on the orange. How's it going, Mike and Billy? Hope things are good with you. It's good to see you guys here. So starting out with those two, now we are going to give it a quick stir for a Boulevardier recipe. I like to use a stir. That way I have a little bit more control over the amount of dilution. I'm also not oxidating my product, and I am keeping the water level down as well as the dilution. Now, because I turned the camera up so you could see my face, instead of me pouring in, it poured in at an incredibly thick, oily, very, very beautiful amount right here. Now, let's get a little flair. Now, for anybody interested, you can do a classic shaving for an orange, but we're going to do a little bit of decoration here. So you hold the angle like this, point it directly at the glass at a let's see, that's about a 45-degree angle, and you start shaving in a rotation pattern. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I am from this angle seeing a zesting of orange shooting up in the air, which is falling down on top of my drink. So I'm going to have a layer of orange floating on top of it, just like that. And with that, now we're going to have a little bit more flair. We have this nice long orange peel. This is where it gets fun. Ready? Move this so you can see. And we do a whirlwind effect. Like that. Drop it in. Let a little bit hang over the side. Just like that. And that is how you can add a very fancy twist. Grab the corner and rotate it all the way around your glass so you get the orange flavor on top. How's it going, the Bearded Beerman? I hope all is good with you guys. And that, my friends, is how I make a Boulevardier. With the Cappelletti, it is not as sweet. It is a much more bitter flavor, a little bit more earthy, like I've put a few dashes of bitters in there, kind of a walnut style bitter. I do enjoy it a lot. Yes, it is a very, very good bottle, a very good cocktail. I did not grab myself a cocktail straw, so I'm just going to kind of pack that in there. But I am using a spherical ice cube, so I control my melt, but yet my cocktail is still very delicious. Now, for all of you who are joining in, hopefully I will be joined in later by a couple of other whiskey talkers. But if not, if you have any questions, I would love to have a couple if you're interested. I would love to get a little feedback as well. Now, Mike and Billy are ones in which I have known them for a little bit and followed them on Facebook, on YouTube. I do appreciate you guys coming in. And Jim Highline, let's see here. I am here drinking a straight up Cooper's Mark. Yes, you were talking about that in the chat, in the comments earlier. Felt a little underdressed for this live show. Honestly, no. The Cooper's Mark is actually a delightfully soft, very, very easy drinking for anybody who likes Basil Hayden. That is one that I recommend to branch up because it is a higher proof. I'm going to say it is 92 ABV with a lot more flavor, and it is about $10 cheaper in price point. So that's actually a really good Boulevardier. I make this as a double, but this way I can actually keep talking with you guys. I also want to throw out, for those of you who do not know about the Cooper's Mark, Cooper's Mark is a, actually recently won an award. It came in blind flights winning over certain blind flights. And it came on with the second place. I'm going to say it was the Beverage Spirit Institute tasting, which I have never heard of that one, but apparently it competed against some very big names, and it beat those guys out. A very thick cocktail. Thank you. It is definitely, Jim Highline is stating that it's good to know this. He loves it. It's a great introductory drink. They also do some flavors. They do a maple that is out of this world. Most of the time when I drink those, maple drinks are a little artificial. If not, they come off a bit cloyingly sweet or boozy. This one, it tastes like they've actually stirred a type of maple, dissolving it into the flavor, creating something that literally tastes like a really fancy, and I mean really fancy, maple bourbon drink. And it's really quite good. The flavor profile on it is pretty much what you get on the nose, oaky and mapley. It is so thick, I joke that I pour it over my pancakes. But it is a delightful one and makes a killer Arnold Palmer. Take 50% lemonade, 50% of that maple Cooper's Mark instead of bourbon, instead of sweet tea, and that is the Arnold Palmer from Heaven. It is absolutely delightful and very, very flavorful. And for all of you in the chat, if you've not hit the like button, please do. We'd fully appreciate it. The other flavors that come out, let's see, from the Cooper's Markets, they also do a honey, which the honey is not as good as the maple. My favorite honey bourbon is Wild Turkey's honey. So I am definitely a fan of certain flavored whiskeys. Some of them, unfortunately, are a little too artificial or fake. But anybody else knows that I love to experience and try new things in which cause me to push my palate. So I am not afraid to try different flavors, but some of them, without a doubt, do taste better than others. With that said, that is my talk on the Cooper's Mark. Now, I am also want to cover another hot topic that seemed to hit up, and that was, did anybody out there hear about the Bourbon 30? Bourbon 30. Wow. Where to begin with this one? Bourbon 30 hit our shelf about a year ago. And I was just told 2 days ago as I came in that it was being pulled off the shelves and being discoed, and they could not sell it anymore. How's it going, Rod? I hope things are good with you. Made a Boulevardier, so I hope you guys learn how to make a quick cocktail here. Also hope to be joined in by a couple of other guys in the chat, but until then, I am flying solo. So if anybody in the chat is interested in jumping in and just joining up to kind of get the banter going, I am willing to let you jump in. All right, so hang tight. If you are interested, there you go. Join in, Rod. I know it's We Talk Whiskey Wednesday, but you do know enough about bourbons and so forth. You're welcome to join in, as well as if anybody else is there within the chat. Tag is in the drop. So if you're interested, just click on that and you can join in. But anyway, real quick, the Bourbon 30. What kind of happened is, the way I understand it, is they were caught putting in like sugars and mixing when they were advertising a bourbon. I was only kind of given the cliff notes. I don't know the full on it, but apparently the Bourbon 30 was caught making their bourbon, but not doing bourbon. So unfortunately, it's not the thing that you want to have happen to a budding company. And needless to say, they are no longer going to be sold. They're probably going to have to do something else. Which is, on the other flip side of that, they were nice guys. They were nice guys, and I did enjoy talking with them. But there's a couple of other really cool guys in which I have met. And I hope to bring them on, the actual distillers, for those guys that watched our watched the one with I brought in Karis Wagner from Second Sight Rum. He was such a hit that numerous people were asking for me to bring in other distillers. So I have quite a few of them lined up. Hope to bring in more and more of them as the season progresses. But the We Talk Whiskey Wednesday is something in which I want to keep going. And it is always fun to do this and just talk with people and see about what discussions are going on. So, anybody in the chat, what are you drinking right now? That's good. Oh, that is absolutely delightful. I have not made myself a Boulevardier in a very long time. How's it going, Just My Fish? Thank you so much for joining in. Just My Fish, folks, is actually a really cool place to hang out. They do a lot of the fishing aquariums. So if you are hankering for just some cool fish fun facts and taking a look at their videos, I would recommend it because there are some fun things in there. I've enjoyed going through their videos and enjoying them. You're enjoying some coffee? Coffee is a great way to do it. I do. We got Cooper's Mark Maple, which, again, is one of my favorite flavored whiskeys. And honestly, if you were to compare the coffee and the Cooper's Mark, blend them together, that is a wonderful flavor profile right there. Man, that's good. The more this dilutes, the more the orange is going to shine in it. Oh, you're drinking the Jim Beam Repeal batch and some Woodford. Just chilling, huh? Okay. So the Jim Beam Repeal. The Jim Beam Repeal. What are your thoughts on that, Rod? Are you finding it a little thicker, or are you finding it more thin? The Woodford Reserve for me is a wonderful starting whiskey when I want to go up from something softer, but the Woodford Reserve is a much sweeter. Oh, you're not drinking right now? Okay. Woodford Reserve is an high vanilla with a little bit of copper flavoring to me from their stills. I do enjoy that. You'll be in for a treat on the Repeal. Nick the cigar guy, who we actually sat down and we enjoyed a nice review live stream of that. I think, if not, it was just a review where we sat down, reviewed that, and enjoyed just how actually surprisingly good it is. Now, Woodford is great. Now, I could really also start chewing your ears off about some of my favorite cocktails that I make from these bourbons, or I could also start talking about how much I like to pair a cigar with them. I actually went out for wanted to do a cigar review, but I didn't want to go home and smoke it on the front porch. I think it was Sunday night. And at that time, choo-choo. All right. At that time, when I was leaving work, it was 9 o'clock on Sunday. It was bitter cold, and I did not want to have to find me a corner somewhere on my front porch in this, was it 27, 25 degree weather to smoke a 2-hour cigar and not be able to enjoy it because I'm slowly freezing to death and because my wife doesn't let me smoke in the house. And so I started looking around downtown Covington, Newport, trying to find some place that I actually could sit down and smoke a cigar. And I found that there was no place available other than the Beer Cellar, where we happen to have our annual Tuesday night beer, our cigar. It's a cigar gathering where we get a bunch of people together. We push and talk about types of cigars, and we just tell people about new flavors of cigars and new styles that are hitting. So I'm going to stretch up here, and I'm going to grab my humidor. And what I fired up was a delight. Yes, I am familiar with that one on Walnut, but I ended up at Beer Cellar. But here is what I fired up. I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up. This is a Nica Puro Diamond. This thing was gorgeous. As you can see, its design, it is a diamond cut. It's a box press, but instead it is a diamond. The cigar itself, hey, how's it going, Whiskey Quest? You are welcome to jump in if you are willing to. I have the drop up there in the link in the chat if you're interested. But the Nica Puro was definitely a nice sit-down smoke. It did make me feel a little bit wobbly after firing it up, but I drank a Maker's Mark while puffing on this cigar. And it was a heavenly, heavenly smoke. There is also, let's see here, we have our classic round cuts. But let me see if I actually have a box press in here so you can compare it. Now, I know I'm kind of going off topic, but does anybody have a favorite type of cigar pairing that they like to do? Do they prefer a beer with their cigar? Or do they, here we go, do have a box cut, or do they prefer a bourbon or cocktail? So there you go. Chimney cut. Oh, thank you, Just My Fish. Chimney cut. Oh, okay. My apology, Whiskey Quest. You're just tuning in while driving. Please don't end up in trouble, buddy. So there you go, guys. But this is the Oscar 2012. This is a very good one, barrel aged, nice flavor. But needless to say, finding a place to smoke a cigar in winter is one of the hardest things I have found to do, because I don't have an area to smoke them at home. I do have a nice smoker's patio out back, but that does not work in this snowy 25-degree weather. And when that does have to work, I do find that I move toward the little Perdomos. Let's see if I have one in here. Nope, they're in my other humidor, which is downstairs, and which I'm not going to run down and get. So it is my travel humidor. Oh, you know what? Hang on. He's actually up here. And there we go. My little travel humidor. This is the one that I use when I'm really going around. It is like a little fishing tackle box. Nice. Definitely keeping your keeping everything properly humidified is very important. These are quick little smokes. You can see by the size, 1% alert. I wish it was that simple, but I was given both of these humidors. And so that's the beauty of the job that I work in. The other one, these are the little Perdomos I was talking about. They look like little cigarillos. Not really an easy smoke, in my opinion, because you have to treat them like a cigarette, and I don't like cigarettes. The other is a dry draw with the flavor of the cocktail. It's definitely a way to get a pairing. I also have caught a lot of flack for doing this, but I mix both scents. This is also these little cigarillos. I know that's not what they are, but they look like a little cigarillo. This being a Perdomo, when I fire it up, unlike my cigar, I can just take a puff and I can leave it. And I don't really have to constantly choo-choo train it. Which, very juvenile way of saying it. Constantly work it in order to get it to fire up. But with these guys, I am constantly having to draw on them, constantly having to smoke them. And unfortunately, the flavors are, if I draw it too much, it gets too hot and I lose the flavors. I take too long, it burns out. It's nice in a pinch if I just want to take like one really quick draw, 2 or 3 of them, to kind of get that flavor of the tobacco. But unfortunately, this is not my idea of a really good smoke, but it works in a pinch for these really, truly cold nights here in Cincinnati that are hitting us. With our snowpocalypse that happened and we got like 7 inches of snow. But needless to say, that would be an awesome pairing with the Boulevardier. Now, let's see here. I do appreciate right now we have 7 people in chat. We are rocking in at 5 likes. I thank you so much. And real quick news on the Party Source YouTube channel. As of yesterday, we broke 900 subscribers. I am sitting at right now, if it's gone up any. As of earlier today, it was 901 subscribers. So I just really and truly want to thank everybody. You've all been great. Thank you so very, very much. I jumped literally 100 extra subscribers in about 2.5, 3 weeks. So I am honestly very thankful for all of you. Thank you, and thank you. And so other things that I hope to be covering in the upcoming year. Amos and I will be releasing hopefully a very humorous video tomorrow. Okay, wait a second. I am getting a question here from Just My Fish. Question, I have a Crim Caramel Bolivian whiskey I got for Christmas but not opened it. Have I heard or tried it? I have not heard of this one. Give me just a moment and I will pull up a picture of it to see if I've actually seen or tried this at one of the conventions. Unfortunately, I do try so many of these things sometimes that they do tend to run together. Ah, here we go. It's a Tennessee one. It's the Brulee, the creme brulee whiskey. This is the Tennessee. I remember hearing about this one. Is it the one from Tennessee, sir? If so, I have not tried it, but I am a sucker for anything creme brulee or bread pudding. Those are two of my favorite desserts, and for those of you who do not know, I am a native Texan. I am a sucker for flan. Flan to me is one of the nature desserts, and I have enjoyed it on many, many accounts. Okay, Bearded Beerman. I have not done pipe tobacco. It took me a very long time to actually get into cigars. The cigar guys kept on pestering me and giving me free cigars because they wanted me to break into it so they could have somebody to help them out. But unfortunately, I folded. And about 6 months ago, actually 8 now, I started smoking cigars, not on a regular basis, just upon occasion, and when they asked me to review them. And I have not delved into the pipe tobacco. The reason being because the same argument with cigars. I don't need another vice. But I do love the smell. I love the flavors. And the best thing is, somebody once asked me, don't you lose flavors? Your palate, doesn't it mess with that? And the way I describe it is smoking a good cigar with a meal is like putting salt or pepper or any other seasoning on an already beautiful dish. And with that, like, let's say you have oatmeal. Oatmeal by itself is fairly bland, but you put a touch of pepper and salt in there, it really opens it up, adds a lot of flavor. So think of your whiskey sometimes getting a little extra oomph from just that tobacco, just a quick puff on it. The smell of it really also helps. A nice Maduro cigar would be incredible with this heavy orange flavor. If not, man, a sun-grown Perdomo with this twist of orange in here would truly, truly open this up. Now, Bearded Beerman, I know you're a beer guy, but you are welcome to jump in as well. It's dropped in the link if you are interested. But as of right now, we are up to 8 watchers, a total of 6 likes, jumping in and out. I do appreciate it, guys. I do recommend getting a travel humidor if you are a smoker, because, you know, carrying your bigger one around is always kind of a pain. And also, you'd be amazed how many people come in and tell me they don't keep humidity packs in their humidors. And this one guy kept on telling me that he was afraid that his something was wrong with, kept on bringing back cigars, saying that there was something wrong with them, that they were not smoking right. The problem was he wasn't keeping a humidity pack in there. So there you go. That's a humidity pack. You want to take it out of the plastic. This is a two-way. It takes humidity and it adds humidity. So the way you can tell is when they are done is they will become as stiff as a 2x4. Oh, okay. Sorry, Bearded Beerman. Working on dinner for family. And there we go. But once I got that fixed out, off topic, am I working Friday? You may swing by Braxton Labs release. I will be Friday, 1 to 9. What am I drinking? Well, James Burnett, I am drinking a Boulevardier right now. A Boulevardier is one of my personal favorite cocktails. It is a very easy one to drink. Wanted to branch out because some of the guys who normally join me in these live streams are not going to be able to make it right away. So I was going to kill some time by showing you how to make a Boulevardier, which consists of 1792, which is you need a bourbon, about 1.5 ounces of bourbon. I then put in a 3/4 ounce of Antica vermouth, and then 3/4 ounces of, you can use Campari, but I instead used Cappelletti. As the way I describe Cappelletti, Cappelletti is Campari, the same tree as Campari, just a different branch. And honestly, it is delicious. Whiskey Shenanigans, thank you so much for dropping in. I appreciate it. I really do. Guys, Whiskey Shenanigans is somebody that I have been enjoying their channel now for a little bit, kind of laughing at their videos. Please, if you haven't, check them out. They were a lot of fun. Right now, I do believe he doesn't have many. He only has about 2 videos, but they're fun watches. Definitely worth it. Thank you for dropping in. Subscribe. Give him a little bit of love. Let's see here. So anyway, back to Cappelletti. Cappelletti is like Campari, but not nearly as orange heavy, not nearly as sweet. On the nose, it is much, much more bitter. And my first thought is, because I'm describing the flavor profile, is to hold this out for you to smell. Scotch for Dummies. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Now, Whiskey Shenanigans, are you coming from the Scotch for Dummies? That's what I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought. I have jumped in a couple of times in your chat. That's a good drink. Definitely worth it. So that is what I am working on, and we are also talking about cigars. Kind of got off the topic there. But, Rod, what are they releasing at Braxton this Friday? Because I will definitely be there 1 to 9, and I can see about joining you for a drink afterwards. Oh, what 1792 is that? That is the High Rye. The High Rye was absolutely delightful. The nose on it is gorgeous. A little bit of bubble gum. Some spicy rye. Earthy notes. Got a lot of orange on my fingers, so I'm trying to keep my hands out. God, that is just beautiful. Golden honeycomb. Just a hint of honeysuckle. Just beautiful. Absolutely love this stuff. Unfortunately, it was only a... They're going to probably bring it back, but they did a once-a-year release on it. And I was very fortunate to have a friend who actually bought a bottle and then donated it to me. So I was very thankful. If you're watching, you know who you are. Thank you very much. Chocolate Cherry Imperial Mocha Stout. Wait, I'm sorry. Chocolate Chili Imperial Mocha Stout is being released at Braxton. That sounds incredibly good. I did get to try some of their sours and tarts that they released. Their cherry turnover was my personal favorite. But that was a lovely release. And so if you're still around after 9, I will drop by and see you. If not, I don't have any plans. If you want to hit up a couple of bars, I am more than welcome to do, more than happy to do that with you, Rod. Now also, let's see here. Night Sham, how's it going, buddy? It is awesome to see you. Yeah, thank you so much for dropping in. I do appreciate it. Drinking a Boulevardier tonight. If you guys haven't done it, please hit that like. And if you want to see more cool stuff like this, always subscribe, because you never know what's going to be happening and what's going to be coming out. I don't know if let's see here. Okay, going to probably be down during the day, but you might swing over for a chat. Okay, I will be there from 1 to 9. Thank you so much for giving your support, Night Sham. I am actually doing very, very good, guys. If you are video game enthusiasts, check out Night Sham's channel. He was live streaming God of War 4 last night, which I'm kind of on the fence about playing right now. That being because I'm not too sold on Kratos as an over-the-shoulder fighter. I'm definitely more of the 1, 2, 3 top-down frenzy chaotic fighting on the originals. But that doesn't mean I won't pick it up if it drops below $20 and then eat every word that I say when I start to enjoy it. But all right. So the other day I was given some rum to sample for some private barrels for the party source. One of the barrels that I was given 2 barrels from Papa's Pilar. For those of you who know what Papa's Pilar is a phenomenal rum. They do a Solero aging system, which is where you stack it in a triangular pyramid pattern with the younger ones up high, pulling out the empty barrels as they become empty, so older barrels work their way toward the bottom. Now, I am a huge fan of Papa's Pilar, but I'm going to, for those of you who do not know, going to drop a quick link for them in this description here. So you can see what their product looks like. It has a great endorsement, and honestly, wonderful stuff. But they sent us some private barrels. I tasted the first barrel. It was very, very good. Thought it was amazing. I remember I wrote my notes like, this is very good. Poured myself the second one. I tasted it, I put it down, and I just pushed it over to our buyer, and I said, buy this bottle. Buy this barrel, because this is one of the best rums I have had in an incredibly long time. It was so thick, so oak-driven, everything that you know about rum with the essence of bourbon in there. And every sip that I took from that sample glass was a delight to the senses. And I am going to be buying 2 or 3 bottles of that when it hits, because that was one of the best bottles. And then you get the second joy of watching your coworkers as they come over to try that barrel. And when they taste it, just seeing their eyes and their facial expressions become that of euphoric as they taste these bottles that just change the way you think. The beauty of a single barrel always changes. We are seeing more single barrels hitting the market since the classic rum, classic bourbons are drying up. And we are now getting joined by the one, the only, the amazing, the Antonio from where?
Whiskey Quests. Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late to the show. Had to fight some traffic to get here.
I thank you so much for joining in. Whiskey Shenanigans, what is your question, sir? Have a good thing. Thank you so much for coming in, Night Sham. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Antonio, you going to be drinking anything tonight?
I didn't have time to pour anything, but so you guys were talking about cigarettes or cigars. I'm sorry. Pull down what I have.
Oh,
but,
nice.
Got a few right here that I got for Christmas. I don't know if you can read those right now.
Oh, the Aurora line. Those are wonderful.
So I've only tried one so far. I think it was a Connecticut. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that has the whole line, does it not?
Yeah, it's the whole sampling thing.
Let's see here. Do I know if I have any Bow Blair in the store? Give me just a second, Whiskey Shenanigans. I will find out. Most of the time when I have like the Bow Blair, sometimes I end up having it from places like Blackadder and Cadenhead Release. Looks like I am presently, yes, I do have the Bow Blair Highland Single Malt 1999 in stock, and I have the 05. I did get the pleasure of trying both of these, and they were absolutely delightful. They ranged from 106 to 68. You can see them on our webpage. Okay, now Jim Highline also real quick is throwing in saying, my wife and I have been looking to get into cigars. Neither of us smoke, but we enjoy some of what we have smelled. Have always been partial to pipe as well. I'm going to recommend for you, Jim, trying Perdomo. Try the Sun-Grown 12. It is very easy. You're welcome, Whiskey Shenanigan. Very easy. Now, Antonio.
Yeah.
Which one would you recommend, buddy?
I would say start with one of the short ones, like these Robustos that I got. You're starting out. You don't want to spend too much time, and because some of these are really strong. So start with something short that you can finish quickly and take it from there. What do you think?
I'm going to back you on that. Nothing says you have to finish smoking that cigar. Nobody says you have to. If you don't have to be part of the Clean Plate Club, and rule number 1, have a full stomach going in on a cigar.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Rule number 2, don't inhale until you're ready, unless you want to. And then the third rule, have some sugary drink standing by if you start to get dizzy. That will really help. And a fourth rule, be sitting down, because you never know. Some of these cigars, I've had walk around smoking cigars, and I had one of them that literally kicked my feet out from under me and put me on a merry-go-round.
I'd say just take your time. That's what they're for. To just enjoy it, just like a good whiskey. Just sit back, enjoy it, relax, have a good time.
Very, very true. You said it best. You said that best, because cigars are... I would have never thought I could just sit in the backyard and enjoy just smoking a cigar. Last summer, I found myself doing that. Normally I'm the kind of guy I have to be reading something, doing something on my cell phone. But I found that when I was just sitting there enjoying the cigar, it was just all the flavors were hitting me. And I was thinking and looking and enjoying and hoping my wife didn't find out. Shh.
Just shower before you go to bed.
Yeah, there's been a few times I've come home from some of these cigar things that we do on Tuesday nights, and I just walk in, and it's just like, hey, before you come up here, please hop in the shower.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's like that joke where the Pepe Le Pew, the stench is coming off of you.
Yeah, but honestly, the smoke that lingers on your clothes afterwards from cigars is way different from cigarettes. It's
not nearly as stale.
Right.
And it doesn't have that musky smell that smoke does. The cigar is a richer, more savory smell.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And right now we got 8 likes, 9 watching. and just enjoying talking with you and now, Antonio. Do
Yeah,
I
like I
prefer
said,
whiskey on the rocks or without when smoking a cigar? Just curious. I try both ways. How about you, Antonio?
actually, like you said, I even when I used to smoke cigarettes, I used to just enjoy like a nice soft drink, a Coke or a Pepsi. So I've never really been big into mixing it with like a bourbon or anything like that. I think it takes too much away from the flavor for me.
Okay. I did last night. I started with my mate. Well, I'm sorry. I ended up with that Maker's Mark. That was started out straight, but then I ended up adding it on the rocks. Drunken One, what is up, buddy? Thank you for swinging by. Antonio, do you know Drunken One?
Oh yeah. I've subscribed to him a while ago. He's got some pretty good stuff on there.
I thought I'd said something about that. He's a great guy. Um, okay, so Jim Highline, I want to throw out a little bit more of what you're asking. Let's see here. He wants to also ask, so let's see here. I don't, yes, and it doesn't linger either, and I haven't tried a few times. But now that we are so much closer to the Party Source in their selection, we will have to look into it. Jim, come in, talk to me. I'll certainly show you some fun cigars. If not, I will turn you over to guys who know so much more than me. You know, I am just that guy. I can skim the surface and say, that's a good one to pair with. But these guys can come in and say, oh, this is Colombian seed. This sat in a barrel for 5 months and then was wrapped by Granny Mimosa, and they just name off all this information and explain why this cigar is going to taste better than what you're used to. Definitely worth a check out on that. But going off of what you were saying, trial and error. That's all I can say is take a puff, see what you like. Try what you're doing with it. And now we've got Alex, the beer master, jumping in. What is up? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Thank you so much for swinging by. I do appreciate it. Alex, I know him from our friends over at the Craft Beer Pours. Thank you for swinging by, and I am horribly dominating here, Antonio.
No, that's fine.
Please.
You know what? Let me get myself a glass because I don't feel right not drinking something. Give me 1 second.
So let's see here. Are you drinking anything, Alex? Drunken One, you drinking anything? If so, I will ask if you guys have not hit that like button so we can jump up. Right now we're at 11 watchers and a total of 8 likes. Oh boy. Got my little partner jumping up here right now, coming in. He slips in underneath the camera. Oh, you see his tail there. He normally doesn't come in to talk at the camera, but today he is. Oh, Drunken One is doing a Stella Artois. Stella Artois is actually really good, and Alex the Beer Master is not drinking right now.
All right. I'm going to pour myself a little bit of Devil's Cut from Jim Beam.
I do enjoy some of that. That is a Devil's Cut?
Yes. Pretty good stuff. I mean, step up from the white label.
Yeah.
You know, higher proof. Pretty good for the money.
The beauty of a good cigar, of a good drinking cocktail is if you like it, you drink it. That's the best thing I can say. Oh, okay. He's just saying he just Drunken One saying he just uploaded a video about that. I'm sorry, not Drunken One. Rod is saying he just uploaded to Drunken One that he just uploaded a Stella Artois review. And Rod is saying people give him hell for liking Devil's Cut.
Don't let them.
No, I mean,
if you like it, you like it. You know, that's all that really matters.
You like what you drink and you drink what you like. Don't ever let somebody say you're drinking the wrong thing. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, we all drink and eat. We all like different foods. We don't all have to be robots in what we drink. My cocktail glass is now empty. So I might have to join you in a second one there, Antonio.
Okay.
I think I'll just keep my twist in there and I'll just pour me some of this bourbon. You know what? I'll save the bourbon. I'm just going to do... This vermouth is good enough to drink by itself.
All right.
One of my favorite drinks is vermouth with some soda water and a twist of lime. However, orange is just as good. Antica is a fantastic bottle.
Cheers.
Indeed. Oh, wow. Clove, cinnamon, nutmeg. The orange is really coming through. It is so rich and savory. Can you break yours down for us? Give us a quick review.
This one's just lots of oak right on the nose. Get some char also. It's a little bit smoky. I mean, cherry on the palate. Same thing. I get a lot of cherry, a lot of oak, char. I really like this stuff. That spiciness comes through at the end. Actually, that's what I always look for, is that spiciness. If it's not there, you know, it tends to be a little boring, but this is great stuff. What is this, like $22 maybe? 23.
That sounds about right. It's very affordable. Certainly not going to break any banks, but a great one. The one kind of question I always wonder about is they produce so much of it. The original idea was based off of what one of the, I want to say what one of the No's did, which is where they would put, he'd put like a water into the barrel and just suck out that extra bourbon that was in there. And he would put that in his thermos and walk around drinking it. That's what I was told when I was down there picking a barrel.
So that's
whether or not that is true or legend,
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but,
you never know.
My question is apparently they're kind of recreating that idea, extracting the flavor from the wood. My just question is they're producing so much of it. What else are they doing? I would love to kind of get a backdoor fly on the wall tour to kind of see the secrets.
Right. From what I've found out, I think they do exactly that as you talked about. They extract it from the wood, but then they mix it with the regular white label stuff. So it just amplifies that flavor a little bit.
Okay. See, they didn't tell us that they were mixing with white label. I always said that they were mixing it somehow.
Yeah, I think this is just stuff that I've read online pretty much.
Okay.
So, you know, don't quote me on that, but it makes sense. It makes sense. When, you know, you can't really extract so many bottles, like you said, from what's left over in the wood. So they have to mix it with something.
It is very, very soft. Hey, Craft Beer Pours. Cheers. Thanks for swinging in. We do appreciate it. You guys are always welcome here. Okay, no, Rod, I have not been over to Boone County. And let's see here. You're thinking about going on some point? Well, let me know. We could go down there together. We were down there actually picking out a private barrel. And unfortunately, I was not able to go. I have had a few talk with the distillers on numerous bases. And their head brand ambassador has come over and done a review with us and wants to do part of this live stream. So, Antonio, that's going to be somebody coming in the future. She is a fun country woman who says she has no problem in embracing her local trailer park.
Nice.
And so Let's
Bring her
see
on.
here. Craft beer pours. The whiskey is really good. And we have Zero Homestead jumping in. This guy is fun. If you don't know his channel, I definitely recommend checking him out. He is a lot of fun just to go see and enjoy. Does some of the let's see here. Trying to look at. He does like the recipes, just kind of playing around and just goofy home life. We'll just say. YouTube stuff. So yeah, Zero, I have enjoyed your channel. Thank you very much for dropping by. Let me see here. Nope, no new questions. But Antonio, right now I have a stack of like cards that people have given me, business cards about that thick.
Okay.
About an inch high of people who are distillers, brewers, and so forth interested to join us.
Oh, awesome.
On these live streams.
That is great. Get more people like that involved. Yeah.
Like Karis Wagner, which honestly, I think that was one of our best ever live streams. You were part of that, were you not? Or was that the night?
I wasn't part of that one. No.
Oh, I am so sorry. Yeah, you could not make it that night.
Yeah.
Something came up that night. I'm sorry. So we have 11 in chat, a total of 9 likes. So if you have not done it, hit that like, make it spike. Help us out there, guys. We do enjoy it. And thank you so much. Oh, hey, James Burnett, thank you so much. He would love to join y'all again. I will have a drink next time. So he'll see about jumping in, probably doing the chat with us.
Nice.
I also have some local bourbon enthusiasts who are interested in joining it. We have somebody here, Senka Suman, Anchor Asensol, beautiful channel, very nice. Good morning and have a good day. Alex, the Beer Master, thank you for dropping by. We do appreciate it. We are coming up to our hour mark, but since Antonio has joined in, I'm going to see about, oh, hey, I know, Thinker Anasol, he has recently changed his channel's name. That's why I didn't recognize him. In fact, I am actually subscribed to his channel. But Antonio, if you are interested in hanging out a little bit, you and I can hang out for about 15, 20 more minutes. Just talking about interesting things. Did you hear about the Bourbon 30?
No. What is that?
Bourbon 30, I will drop just a Google link here to it. Bourbon 30 hit our shelves about a year ago. Here's a link to their page. But Bourbon 30 surprised us. This is all what I heard was one of my coworkers walked by and said, Bourbon 30 is being pulled off the shelves and being discoed. I'm like, why? What's going on? Because they have gained like this strange notoriety. Just one sip at a time. Thanks for joining. It is good to see you, Trish. Thank you so much for dropping in. Anyway, Bourbon 30 gained like this amazing notoriety for their single barrel program. The idea was that they were doing like these quarter barrel agings and, you know, quick speed up aging for the bourbon to get it out. And there were some other things being done, but some of the local stores would go in and blend. Like the idea was their single barrel was they give you like 10 different barrels and you could blend them together to create a bourbon masterpiece. And these guys did. I won't drop the name of the store or the name of the bourbon because apparently now it is illegal to sell it.
Oh.
Because the guys got caught. Bourbon 30 got caught for adding sugars, extracts, and apparently mixing in garbage cans.
Oh, wow.
Hands up, I don't know. This is just all that I heard, and it was just like, I'm like, why is it getting pulled? Well, this, and this. And I'm like, whoa, I want anybody else who knows anything to say something, because right now it's been pulled off the shelves. It's like being recalled because it's not bourbon.
Right.
And so I have to expect everything to be closed and folded, and it's just going to be one of those little footnotes of bourbon and way not to do it. Tim
Right.
Brew, thanks for swinging by. Cheers, buddy. We lift our glass. Thanks for coming in.
And it's for things like that that the actual bottled and bond came into place because of people doing things like that. So it was like, consumers wanted quality, and this was the way to make sure people got stuff. Maybe, there was a lot of poison back then.
Yeah.
Like actual poison, not just...
That's like, man, what was it in Stuart and Victorian? Actually, it was Victorian. What they would do with cow's milk in order to, it was, man, the stuff that they did to the cow's milk. They would actually add dung to it.
Wow.
To the cow's milk during that age, of just to fill it out, because there was no FDA. And so for all these guys who are like, FDA is bullcrap, look into the Stuart era, and you will find that no, it is not bullcrap. There's a reason why we have this. Yeah.
That's why we need regulations.
Yeah. But for those who do not know, the Bottled and Bond Act, Tonio, would you like to explain that?
Well, top of my head, it's has to be in bonded warehouses. I guess, do they still have government officials guarding these things? I'm not sure, but they have to be in there for a minimum of 4 years, bottled at 50% ABV, 100 proof. And what else is there?
The idea of it was to protect you, the consumer.
Oh, yeah, basically.
It goes back to the best way to describe it is the medicine man, or the going from town to town with the barrels of bourbon, or the local corner drugstore. You would go in with your whiskey bottle and you would fill it up from the barrel. Well, let's just say the guy on the drug corner sold 15 bottles of bourbon and doesn't want to buy a new barrel. So he fills that barrel with water, sugar, sweet tea, whatever else he has, and may even put rubbing alcohol in there just to jump up the flavor. And as a result, you come back, you fill up your bottle, and you say, this doesn't taste right. The whiskey guy would say, take it up with the distillery. It was that way when I bought it.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful CYB for him to say, no, it was not that way when it left. And thank you so much, One Sip at a Time. And Rob Aquatics broke 900 yesterday.
Hey, congratulations.
We hit 901, and I was just over the moon, on the road to 1,000. And I am so excited about it. Two of my favorite YouTubers there, Rob and One Sip at a Time, and Tim's Brew, which I do enjoy Tim. He has some fun stuff. Got some great down-to-earth reviews. If you don't know him, Antonio, he's a fun guy as well.
Yeah, I'll check him out. I like what she did with the donations. I think you joined in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, One Sip at a Time. She did, God, that was just, Trish, that was just such a wonderful thing. Jim Heinlein is saying he's posted on our channel a couple of places trying to get us over 1,000. Do appreciate it. Thank you so much. But Trish did that One Sip at a Time. She did this PayPal drive for hats and gloves and food for the homeless, where she actually physically went out and gave all those things to them, purchasing them from the actual YouTube donations that happened. And we got LO Rainy Day. Thank you so much for jumping in. This is the first time I've ever actually seen you over here. Thank you very much for stopping by. She has no content on her channel, but she does jump in and support other people. So guys, I do appreciate it. And right now we are at 12 likes and 10 watchers. Antonio's jumped in, and we were just kind of discussing fun things. Wonderful Life. This is somebody new who is jumping in. Greetings from Australia, Sydney. I don't think I know Wonderful Life. No, the movie It's a Wonderful Life. Wonderful Life. Okay, yes, I actually subscribe to this. This actually looks really cool. He's got a bunch of like under a minute videos of like kissing kangaroos, howling wolves, beaches in Australia, and so forth. So just little fun, relaxing videos just going on there. All right.
I was just listening on the radio this morning on the way to work, talking about Australian ingredient, or not ingredient, topping for pizza, and it's kangaroo meat.
I've heard of that, but is that true? If you're still there, Wonderful Life, we would love to know if that's true or not. I have had alligator sausage, which is actually made from alligator tail.
Did it taste like chicken?
No, it was very spicy because it was Cajun. It was it was quickly pan-seared, almost blackened. Oh. But it was sausage. It was intense, fiery sausage. It was delicious. Oh, Wonderful Life is saying yes, they do.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it. Why not?
When you're processing the kangaroo, does the meat come from the tail, or do you use like breast meat, haunches, and so forth? Oh goodness! Wonderful Life says has never tasted it. Had gator bites. They did not taste like chicken. Craft Beer Force says be at 1,000 in a month. Rod J says deep fried. Was that kangaroo or alligator? Craft beer, yes, we are growing like a weed. I have the personal goal to reach the 1,000 mark by the end of next month. I hope to, by the end of this month, be at 950 subscribers. Now, Wonderful Life is also saying they've never eaten it. Now, One Sip is also throwing it. Oh, good. Oh, God, that doesn't sound appetizing to a pregnant lady. I'll just enjoy my pizza. Rod J says it did taste like chicken to him. Okay. Now, there is a local place here. For those of you who do not know, have you ever had Geta? It's a Cincinnati thing.
No. What is that?
It's like a breakfast sausage with, I want to say, like barley folded into it. So when they fry it, they do like paper wafers, and they pan fry it, and it so it is very crispy bacon with a bready substance already in there. It has an interesting texture. It's definitely something you need to try at Cincinnati, but it grows on you. So I say all that because I had a Geta pizza the other day from a local pizza place. Had a fried egg on top of it, cheddar, Geta pieces, and holy cow, was it ever amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to try that when I come down there.
Okay, now Rod is saying no on the Geta, stay away. That was my first thought, but about 15 years later, I think I've kind of developed a taste for it. Also, I'm going to throw out at One Sip real quick, being the pregnant lady. When my wife was pregnant, the first ever craving that she had was Skittles. And she was just like, she was driving home and she just did this beeline for the local drugstore and got the biggest bag of Skittles she could get because she's like, the baby wanted Skittles. Oh, One Sip, I did meet the crazy Russian. He did come in. He did come in and talk to us a couple of times. And for all of you in the chat, thank you so much for dropping in. We're at 15 likes, 10 watching. Watch tomorrow's video at 11 o'clock. Amos and I have done what I consider to be very humorous, very dark comedy of what we plan to do for the entire year of 2019 for the beer.
Can't wait.
Yeah. So it is looking forward. I got to upload it. But also, I made an Oreo milkshake the other night, one sip. That's nice. Antonio, are
Yeah.
you incorporating hashtags on your videos?
I am not doing that. Read somewhere that it can hurt your channel a little bit because then it'll not easy to show up on search or something like that. So I'm gonna avoid it for now. Are you guys
Okay.
gonna start using that?
I started the other day, and honestly, it has helped.
It has.
Yes. You can use up to 3 of them. Our friends over at, most of my friends from in the chat right now, One Sip and Craft Beer Pours, they are all doing that. That was like one of the first times I ever saw it. But to get it, it has to go at the bottom in your description, not in the tags. You can have up to 3, and you need to create your own tags. So I went through and I created it, and then you can click on it, the hashtag, and it'll take you to wherever. So for all of my videos, I'm putting in the party source and ESOP. So for
I'll try it on a few videos and see what happens.
Yeah. For the We Talk Whiskey, I did We Talk Whiskey Wednesday, and the beer, I did Beer Me, which nobody was using that, surprisingly. And a couple of other, like my beer, my spirits, my cigars, all of them have their own tag, but they're also all incorporating the party source and ESOP.
Oh, okay, so you can't use something that somebody already is using.
You can, it would just take you to them.
Oh, okay.
So One Sip is sewing in, it helps your channel to get more exposure. And so like when I saw the ESOP, one person was using ESOP, but they only had like 2 videos, and it was not a hashtag, it was just a description.
Okay.
So I went ahead and I snatched that up, and I put out like 20 videos with the ESOP tag on there. So when if I right click on that right now and create a new tab, right now I've got, oh wow, a bunch of Russian videos, but there you are. The latest video right now is a picture of your face from We Talk Whiskey Live. And wow, 4 pages worth of my videos at ESOP.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah. So it is paying out, and it has helped, honestly. I don't know what happens. Maybe One Sip can say, well, let's see here. Well, like he can use hashtag whiskey to reach more whiskey channel related. So yeah, you can do that to where you can, but unfortunately when you do that, you cycle in with like everybody else that is using the hashtag whiskey.
Okay.
So it's
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, don't be too crazy on them is what I'll say, but don't be shy either. All right. Let's see. We got 9 watching, 16 likes. Thank you, everybody. And we're probably going to sign off because we've gone an extra 15 minutes over fairly soon, because I like to keep these at an hour, mostly for the bosses at work. But anybody have any questions, any fun facts, anything they want to throw out? And with that storm of silence, J.O. says, all right, I'm off to bed, J.O. You take care, One Sip. Be safe. Have a good one. Antonio,
yes, sir.
Thank you, as always, for joining. Hope to see you next week. But I am also going to throw out, guys, before you go, do us a favor and drop what you would like to see chatted about next week for We Talk Whiskey. Before you go, we'll see if that catches anybody's attention. It can be pretty much any topic. You are perfect timing. My bourbon just ran out. Nice. If not, let's see here. Late in pain. Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, Antonio.
Okay.
What would you like to talk about tomorrow? Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Very funny, drunken one. Hey, from Pusa, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. The Southern Latina dropping by. We are just about to sign off. Met you the other day from Pusa Studios. Thank you for dropping in. We are just about to sign off, but we are talking about things that we are planning to talk about for next week. So my friend Antonio, why don't you pick?
How about we start with something that you're very knowledgeable about, and that'll be like mixology. So maybe a few recipes that you can give to the viewers. Yeah.
And Rod is saying, was it Rod? Oh, wait, hang on. One Sip is saying whiskey prices.
Okay.
That could be a good subtopic right there. Cocktails a subtopic. Your whiskey pricing the main.
All right.
We can certainly do that, and we can compare like to you're a controlled state, aren't you? Up there in your area, is that controlled? Okay. All right. Drunken One. Let's see. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for dropping by. And Highline is saying Drunken One. That's a short topic for the midget strippers. That is very true. Recipes on a budget. That's a good one. One Sip. That is a very good one. All right. So everybody, thank you so much. You're all great. We will see you next week. We came in at 17 likes. We're closing out with 11 watchers. See you 1 week from today. Everybody, cheers. Have a blessed and amazing evening. My cocktail is empty.
Cheers.